Hey, y'all, we're back here for podcast number 3, Lewy Physical Therapy Podcast. So we're so excited to be here again with Mr. Luke. Luke's here in the house with us.
What's up? Thanks, Danny.
And we got Tracy here.
Hi, how are y'all doing?
Tracy had her daughter come to physical therapy here. Her daughter's name is Sadie. So we're real excited to talk to Tracy about how Sadie did in therapy and how it helped her. I believe she was a track star, or is a track star. So Tracy, tell us a little bit about Sadie and how therapy went.
Yeah, the origin story. So first of all, how did she end up in therapy?
She does definitely do track and also cross country and loves it. It's so much fun to see your kid find a sport that's finally theirs, you know, because you stumble through a few and then you find one that they like. And for cross country, we practice all summer long, and you see the kids, you know, out there in the heat, just pouring their heart into it and, you know, really trying their best. And then the season starts, everything's going well. She did great in her 5th grade year. And then we got to 6th grade, and just as soon as the season started, she started having trouble during the races and during the practices too, complaining about pain in her ankle and also going up her leg a little bit. And it was to the point where she couldn't do the practices. So she was, you know, on her bike just to kind of stay active, keep her heart rate up. And then during the races, she would get so frustrated. She'd be at the back of the pack, limping along, sometimes really upset. And, you know, when you see your kid going through that as a parent, that really upsets you.
Right.
So I knew we needed some help, and we reached out to her pediatrician, and her pediatrician sent us here to Lewy PT.
Oh, awesome.
Very good. Glad y'all did that. And I know how track, I'm a big runner, and how that kind of, you know, holding back with you can't run, it's so frustrating when you're not able to do what you want to do, especially when you're a young kid. With your athletes, with your teammates and your classmates, they're running, you're not able to run. So that has to be real frustrating, I would think. Sit back and watch everybody else do it, and you can't do it, and know you can be able to do it.
Yeah, it was very frustrating because the kids on the team work together as a team, but they're also pushing and competing with each other in a good way, in a healthy way. And she was not able to participate in any of that.
So she was in 5th grade at the time, 6th grade?
Well, her 5th grade season was a great running season.
So 6th grade.
So she knew what her potential was, and then she got to 6th grade, and she wasn't realizing that, and her place in the pack dropped back dramatically. And to watch her be so frustrated with that as a parent was just heartbreaking.
You know, a lot of runners, they say, and especially 6th grade year, 7th grade year, starting to grow, so you get those stress points in the joints and the bones. And even with runners, you get stress fractures, you get irritation around the joints. So especially for young kids that are growing, I would think the bones are probably a little bit, they're weaker, ligaments are a little more stretched because things are growing in your legs. So that can happen. I think it's probably a common occurrence for runners at that young age because they're running a lot, putting probably a good bit of mileage in. How many miles was she doing in a track meet?
Oh, well, in a meet, it's 2 miles.
That's it.
Okay.
And in practices, it would be, in practices, it would be quite a bit more, probably about 6 if you'd add it all up together.
And tell me this real quick, like cross country versus regular track, they wear different type shoes?
They'll wear spikes, so it's kind of a track shoe.
Turf.
And then they put little spikes, they screw little spikes in the bottom so that they're not slipping around, because cross country can be pretty muddy.
Are those as stable as the regular Brooks tennis shoes or the Nike? Or they're a little more not as pliable? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, definitely not as pliable and much flatter. You don't have as much cushion.
So yeah, as a therapist, I'm thinking it puts a little more stress on your joints and ankles when you need a traction for sure because you don't want to sprain your ankle, but also it probably gives up a little bit of stability and cushion for your. So probably I'm sure.
That's the stretched ligaments. It was just a recipe for disaster, probably.
Yeah. Well, and we really didn't know what was going on. So when we did come here, her evaluation was with Courtney, that's a therapist here at Lewy PT, and I was so impressed because we told her where it hurt, and we weren't getting clear. You know, she was 11. We weren't getting clear information from her. It seemed like she just couldn't describe it well to us. But Courtney was very patient and listened to everything that she said and said, well, you know, I think it's because she probably hit a growth spurt. She's right at the right age for that. and just like you said, she grew, but all the connective tissue and muscles didn't catch up with the bone right away. So it was nice to have the reason why things were happening.
What was what did the therapy look like?
A lot of stretching. So we had to get the muscles and tendons and ligaments and stuff stretched out to kind of meet up with the bone a little bit, and then a lot of manual therapy too. So it was really impressive because she would kind of feel around on her calf and say, hey, I'll bet this is the spot that hurts a lot. And Sadie would say yes. And it would be something that Courtney could work on and kind of massage out. And it was amazing how quickly she got better.
That's awesome.
No, it was just one leg?
Just one leg.
Which leg was it? Right leg, left leg? Or?
Left.
And she's left-handed or right-handed?
She is right-handed.
Okay. Interesting. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how long, you said it quickly turned around pretty fast. How long is quick? Like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a week?
Oh, probably about 2 to 3 weeks.
Great.
And getting gradually better in that time, but by about 3 weeks, she was in great shape.
She was in front of the pack.
Well, how it is with running.
Watch this.
No. But you know how it is with running. You have to get conditioned and all that. So
Is this going to be a made-for-TV movie?
Yeah. So she fell behind with her training in that time. So eventually, by the end of the season, she was back up in her place. So it was great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
So, again, this was how long ago was this when she returned to track? A few months ago or when?
So this was actually about a year ago.
Okay. So how's she doing now?
She's doing great. So now we're in track season in her 7th grade year.
Oh, okay, great.
And she's doing relays. She's, on one of our top relay teams, and long jump and shot put.
Shot put.
Shot put.
Nice.
You get the ball and you do the
Yeah.
It reminds me of Matilda. Isn't that what the principal, Miss Trunchbull, did? With the
Sound like a
shot put, hammer throw. No, you guys, no.
No,
Okay,
no.
whatever. Matilda, look it up. I don't know.
Wait,
but Danny, I wanted to ask you about, you had mentioned a comment about her left leg. Was she left-handed? What's the correlation there?
Well, yeah, and a lot of times I think if you're right-hand dominant, you put more force on the right side of your body.
Just naturally, yeah.
Right. And it was left leg, but she's right. Because that's the way it works. And sometimes when you have an issue like a left leg issue, we see a lot with different patients, then you start having issues on the other side because the other leg's taking more of the stress off the leg that's hurting. But with her, it's just more of a running type traumatic constant. Because, running, how many times your foot's hitting the ground when you're running track for 2 or 3 miles and on uneven terrain with cross country. So it's a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And with a shoe that's probably not as supportive like a regular running shoe as well. So, that's great. It's great. So, and she's still using the same shoes and same thing. Everything's the same.
Oh, everything's the same. Of course, we've
like
gone up in size, but same style shoes, same brand, and all that stuff.
And y'all stretch a little bit before track meets? How's that work?
Oh, yeah. So that was one of the great things. We went home with all these home exercises, and so we definitely do those. And not only does Sadie do them, Jason he coaches the team. That's my husband. And he has incorporated some of the exercises that we learned here for Sadie into his general program. So into his warm up and cool down, he's incorporated some of those stretches because he's assuming that if his daughter could have that problem with a growth spurt, it could be the whole team or multiple people on the team.
What are some of the stretches, just for people who are curious?
Oh, well, so kind of stretching your toes kind of towards your shin bone so you can lean against a wall and kind of lean in, keeping your foot flat so that you get that stretch in your calf. And then also using a band. They sent us home with a band, and using that to you kind of hold the band and move your toes forward kind of for a heel exercise.
For resistance?
Yeah, resistance, but doing it all the way around. So you'd put the resistance so that it's going away from you, then towards you, to the right and to the left, and just work the opposite way.
Okay.
And
so
then
forward resistance, back resistance. Gotcha.
And then some self-massage of the calf area.
Okay. Nice.
This is great. And sometimes we use taping for preventive type stuff as well, kinesio taping. And a lot of things with cross country, proprioception is a great word.
It is a good word.
But it's more for balance. When you talk about proprioception, it's more balance and relating to how your body reacts to different uneven areas, terrain, the average person walking. So you can do exercises for that by like one-legged standing, having stand on a cushion, like your left leg's hurting, stand on your left leg and move your right leg back, forward, sideways, eyes closed, eyes open. All kind of functional balance activities to challenge the legs. You want to challenge whatever leg it is harder than what your race is. Really, you want to work them out harder versus how it's going to be in the race, because you really want to, by the time you go to the race or whatever activity you're doing, it's easier than what
To
you
build
did in
the
therapy.
resistance.
Yeah.
So you want to, therapy be a little bit harder what you're doing in the sport, really, in some ways.
Oh, definitely. And they did some of that too. I
Yeah.
didn't mention that, but yeah, she was definitely standing.
The word Bosu might come into play. It's a Bosu ball. We stand on a Bosu.
Now you're just showing off with your
I'm
words.
just talking about I'm being PT talk here.
PT talk, but yeah, she did do stuff on the Bosu ball, and then I don't know what you call it, but that flat pad that,
Right.
and doing the one-legged stand and stuff.
And if we live by a beach, you could do some beach running, which we have no beach around here.
No beach. Well, you
But
got
it-
Grand
it-
Isle. You can go to Grand Isle.
Beautiful, yeah.
Yeah.
You go fishing.
They have those mosquito hawks out there, and they'll eat you up. Have you ever been bit by those mosquitoes out in Grand Isle?
No, I haven't been to
No,
Grand
But
Isle.
Mosquito hawk sounds pretty, yeah.
I said mosquito hawk. That's probably wrong. I don't know, but you definitely feel their bite.
I'm sure.
That's part of the resistance training.
But
Well,
you're
it make
right.
you run faster.
It does.
Well, that's awesome. So Sadie is officially back running,
Mm-hmm.
star and track,
Killing it.
killing it.
Killing it.
We heard she might get a scholarship to some
And Jason
big-time
stole your
schools.
stretches. We're gonna have to.
Oh,
to
yeah, oh,
feature
yeah.
him.
Yeah, Jason.
Jason
exactly.
stole your
Jason
stretches.
stole your stretches. I think he's calling him the
The
Jason
Jason method.
stretch,
Oh,
the Jason
the
method.
yeah, okay, the Jason method.
Oh, I got you. Jason was voted coach of the year.
Was he?
No.
No,
Oh.
no.
Well, great. That's great. Tracy, anything else about Lewy PT you want to throw at us? How they gave you a discharge follow-up? They remeasured her. They measured her foot before and after therapy. Is that-
Oh, yeah,
they took all that.
They did all of that, and they keep up with us and check in periodically, make sure that she's still doing well. In fact, we did come in at the beginning of this year again, just to kind of recheck things a little bit and make sure
good.
that she was going to have a good season.
Great,
So,
great,
yeah.
great.
So thank you very much. As a parent, I'm so grateful, because that's what you want to see is your kid, excelling at something that they love. And y'all did that for my daughter. So
That's
thank
great.
you.
And I agree with you.
Oh, that's great. Thanks for being here, Tracy.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. And
Exactly.
I wish the best, for Sadie in the future. I'm sure she's going to kill it. What grade is she in?
7th now.
In 7th now. Okay,
Yeah.
Cool. So,
So
well, that's
thank
great.
you. I appreciate that.
All right, Trace, will you go run yourself and we have a big family run together?
Sounds like a plan.